offensively, and they spend too much time in their own zone, and that's why you don't have anyone with offensive puck possession.
So interesting here. So Tony says the D is responsible for the puck possession, so that's where we have to work.
I think the Canadians need most work. The most work they need is on the blue line, yes.
On the blue line.
Yes.
So with better blue line, first pass will have better, or setting up. They're a good D that sets up well the offense so they can actually have the puck and carry it through.
So thepointhockey.com says offensive zone puck possession, and you take a look at the list, and Matthew Barzal is there, and Patrick Kane is there, and Connor McDavid's there, and Artemi Panarin is there, and Jack Eichel's there, and Nikita Kucherov, and Anze Kopitar, and Johnny Gaudreau, and Evgeny Kuznetsov, and Blake Wheeler, and so on and so on and so on. We have to go way, way, way down the list to try and find the Montreal Canadiens.
They're far.
There's
They're far.
nobody in the top
them.
50 of the list, all right?
Exactly.
Okay. But if you go out and you make the defense better, then we'll go back and we'll take a look at that list. Well, why don't we do this? Why don't we ask fans, courtesy of FANMETRIX, to weigh in and rate why the Montreal Canadiens don't have anyone in the leading the way with puck possession and in the offensive zone. Is it because the Canadiens forwards aren't good enough? Is it because the defense isn't good enough? Is it because the team isn't good enough? Or is it because they're not tough enough? Maybe they lose the puck battles. Maybe they can't knock the opposition off the puck. These are all questions that need to be asked, and we ask
the puck.
And courtesy of FANMETRIX, you can weigh in.
Absolutely. Let's see how the fans react to this one. Let's see how quickly we can get the numbers in. We'll check.
Let's get some numbers on that. Yeah, let's get some numbers on that, and let's hope that we find the solution. Like this, just a little point, not to hurt your feelings, all of you guys, but PK Subban is 5th for puck possession per game as a defenseman in 2017-2018 with 2.25 seconds, 2 minutes and 25 seconds per game. All right, let's have a little moment of moment of silence here to remember our PK.
And let's take a look at this list, okay? Carlson, Klingberg, Josie, Hedman, Barry, Jones, Burns, Gostisbehere, Letang, and Doughty. What do they have in common besides the fact that they're all defensemen? What do they have in common?
They're fast.
Terrible shot.
They can skate.
They're fast.
This goes to show, they got rid of their defensemen who skated the best. And offensive zone puck possession for forwards. Barzal, Kane, McDavid, Panarin, Eichel, Kucherov,
speed.
Kopitar,
Eichel,
Gaudreau, Kuznetsov, and Wheeler.
Kopitar, Gaudreau, speed.
What do these
Wheeler,
guys
speed.
have in common? What do they have in common?
They
all have something in common. Are you ready? Yeah. I'll tell you exactly what they have in common.
Is it speed, Tony?
No. Well, they can all skate, yes, but they also have something else in common. They're either centermen or play with number one centerman.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what it is.
Yeah. There you go.
Barzal he's a number one centerman. He produced as much as John Tavares last year. McDavid's a number one centerman.
Number one.
Jack Eichel's a number one centerman. Anze Kopitar's a number one centerman. Evgeny Kuznetsov is a number one centerman. Blake Wheeler plays with Mark Scheifele.
That helps.
Nikita Kucherov plays with Steven Stamkos.
I guess that helped him sign this crazy contract this summer. That's a really good one. Good for him. That's it. So those are very, very interesting. Are we close, Tony? Are we close to having that success, or we're still? How many years are we away from having that complete package?
It all depends on Jesperi Kotkaniemi, Ryan Poehling, and Nick Suzuki. You don't win without legitimate centermen. And the Canadians, right now, they don't really have any. But those kids, they give a glimmer of hope. But the only thing is we can't expect them to come into the lineup next year or 2 years from now and be able to produce right away. So I would think that there's going to be some growing pains along the way. And to answer your question, I say the Montreal Canadiens are 3 years away from being a contender and maybe 4 years away from being a legitimate contender. Let's keep in mind there are teams that are close. There are teams that have already won, that their time is going to come and pass. In 3 years from now, the Pittsburgh Penguins are not going to be as effective as the Pittsburgh Penguins have been in the past decade. Nor will the Washington Capitals. At that point, it's going to be another team or two other teams. Toronto's going to be way up there. There's no doubt about it. Yeah. Buffalo's going to be on the rise because they finished at the bottom. If you finish at the bottom for several years and you do it right, chances are you're going to be on top for a while. What they're going to do is they're going to hope that Carey Price is Carey Price, because if Carey Price is Carey Price, he's going to mask all the warts the way he's done for most of his career. And it's going to come down to the final weekend or the final 2 weekends of the regular season to see whether or not the Montreal Canadiens are going to be in the playoffs. So you know what? They're going to be competitive. They will be because of Carey Price. Now, if Carey Price plays like he did a year ago, they're not going to be competitive.
Let's hope not. That cannot happen. I don't think so. He can't.
Well,
he
if
has to
you're-
bounce back. He has to bounce
If
back.
you're a fan of the rebuild and drafting players high in the draft, which I am, it's not the end of the world if Carey Price doesn't have the best season ever.
Yeah, at $10 million a year, I
I
can't.
would,
I
if the
can't-
Canadians are
I
going to
can't
miss the
accept it.
playoffs, Phil, if they're going to miss the
No,
playoffs,
he's going to go injured again.
well, okay, perfect.
He'll
So if
go
they're
out
gonna miss the
injured, you know.
playoffs, I don't want them drafting 14th.
No.
I want them drafting 4th. And as a matter of fact, I want them drafting first.
First.
But it all depends on
That's
the
it,
lottery.
exactly.
So,
Yeah, and we're not the type of team that are going to tank in the middle of the season to make sure to get the first draft. So that's a tough one. Yeah.
Okay, here's my last question, Tony.
yeah,
Are we going to see any empty seats in the Bell Center this year?
quite a few.
That's
And
sad.
How is that going to reflect on us as fans?
People watching, like people going to the games, at one point are going to lose interest. Unfortunately, this is a city where people like to win. They like a competitive team, and I think they're going to end up losing some viewers.
I agree with you absolutely, but I also think that we're not happy the way it's being done. I think we don't like what we see in management, and I think to see a good team or a poor team losing by putting the effort in and trying hard and having at least hope with young guys, I would take it. But what I've seen in the last couple of years, I think fans seem to be very upset with management.
You know, one of the things that Jeff Molson said at the end of the year was, let's make it a better fan experience and game experience for everyone.
Yes.
And I'm sure they're working on that, and we'll have to wait and see what happens in the regular season with that experience. But talk with your partners as well and make it a better listening experience. Make it a better viewing experience. Right. Add something to the broadcast as well. Give people a reason to watch, even though going into the game, those fans have a pretty good feeling, or they have a strong feeling that their team is going to end up losing the game. But give them a reason to watch. Here's a question for FANMETRIX. Do you think the Montreal Canadiens will be an entertaining team to watch, win or lose?
That's a good one.
And I want to weigh in right now and say they're not going to be. Because if so goes Carey Price, so goes the Canadiens, and they don't have a number one centerman, the only way they're going to have to win games is going to be 2-1 games with Carey Price making 35-plus saves.
Playing Jesus
That's
in
the
goals.
only way they're going to
it.
try
Yeah,
and even
absolutely.
make the playoffs.
And that's
so
not
I
nice
hate
hockey.
to say this.
That's
I have
not
a
nice
feeling they're
hockey.
not going to be a very entertaining team.
Very good point. We'll make sure to put that through the FANMETRIX survey. All right. Gentlemen, thank you very much for being here.
It was fun.
It was cool. Thanks
Let's
a
do it
lot.
again.
Very good. Excellent. Next week we have the well, almost. Next
If there
week
is
we
going
have
to be
the
a next week. That's the second time that was. Do we have insurance
That's
here?
it. Actually,
the
no.
light almost it fell
No,
on my
we're
head
not.
once.
We're actually there's zero insurance
We're gonna get you a
and
helmet this
and
time.
that's
I-
it. Helmet.
I-
Actually, there's a helmet.
I
right
never
back
thought
there.
I'd suffer a concussion
That'd
doing
be
a radio
great.
show, but
There-
it probably happened. If I wake up with the symptoms tomorrow,
There you go. So
We're going to
remind
court.
us next week, 27th of September.
yes.
Give us, where is it? Where's the roast?
It's the roast of Tony Marinaro. It's going to take place at Club Soda. And if you don't have your tickets, look, if you're blocked by Tony Marinaro and you want to show up so you can heckle him and you can scream at him and you
That's
can
the
laugh at
time.
him, that's the time that you can do it. And if you're a fan of Tony Marinaro,
You're gonna sign autographs?
He needs your support. I'll do whatever they want because at the end of the day, a part of the proceeds is going to charity, which is going to be Cure SMA, which is a charity which is close to my heart because my friend's son suffers from spinal muscular atrophy.
So it's close to your heart.
I say this. Somebody said
Good.
to me, this is going to be the worst night of your life. And I thought about it and I said, you know what?
I believe that.
You're probably
I
right.
I believe that.
But if it's going to be the worst night of my life,
at least
I guess that means I've had a pretty good life.
You had
so I
a
look
pretty
forward
good-
to seeing everyone there at Club Soda next Thursday, September 27. You can pick up your tickets at clubsoda.ca or call 286-1010.